Justin Welsh made $1.5 million in 6 days from a single course launch, and somewhere between $4 and $6.5 million over the past year. In total, more than $10 million since going solo, and he's done it all from a mountain cabin with nothing but a laptop, decent Wi-Fi, and work ethic that could make a Navy SEAL sweat. But here's what got my attention. Buried in that mountainous operation is a pile of untapped revenue. So here's what I'm doing. I'm popping the hood on his Saturday Solopreneur newsletter. I'm mapping every page, every automation, and every pitch. I'm going to reverse engineer what's working and then rebuild the entire thing from the ground up using my Creator Engines methodology. If I were running Justin Welsh's newsletter, this is exactly how I'd do it. The first thing I check is the opt-in. It's just an email field, front and center. You just hit submit, and instantly Kit's Creator Network pops up suggesting other newsletters that you can subscribe to in one click. It grows other creators' lists, builds goodwill, and also grows Justin's reputation in the process. The thank you page. This is where the magic starts. Right Message jumps in with a segmentation survey, and it asks, where are you at in your business journey? How does your business make money? Are you full-time, hustling on the side? What's your primary platform, your top challenges, and your dream outcome? Those answers get sent right into Kit, probably mapped to a custom field or at the very least a tag. Here's the genius part. The second you're segmented, you're then matched to a next offer. So if you're scaling, that offer might be the Creator MBA with a discount, or if you're just starting out, it's likely Content Operating System or LinkedIn Operating System. The welcome email lands in the inbox pretty quickly, actually. It's clean, there's a clear promise, and he even asks you to hit reply to that email, which is a sneaky deliverability trick. And then he links you off to his best 24 articles. So everybody gets that email when you opt in, regardless of who you are. So far, great work. But can we make it even stronger? Absolutely. So here's what I'd do. Right after that opt-in, before you ever hit that first Saturday issue, I'd run a 3-day dynamic welcome sequence. And it wouldn't be generic or one size fits all. It would use the exact segment and pain points that you just gave him in that Right Message survey. So we'd put it to work. Day 1, it'd be a personalized welcome that makes me feel like this newsletter was built just for me. Plus my recommended offer with that time-limited discount that showed up on Right Message. Day 2, tell me more about Justin's story. Show the human behind the brand and build that trust. Then day 3, set expectations for the Saturday emails, reinforce the value, and then give me one last nudge on that offer. So this does 2 things. It builds a stronger connection before the regular newsletter kicks in, and it captures sales when interest is highest. Strike while the iron is hot. So right now, Justin's already 90% ahead of most creators when it comes to personalization. But with a Creator Engine, the whole thing becomes fully dynamic. I'm talking offers, testimonials, call to action, content buckets, even sponsor blocks, all automatically adjusting to each subscriber's journey. If I were building Justin's Creator Engine, the first thing I'd do is lock in his audience segments, because everything downstream, every pitch, every piece of content, every offer, depends on knowing exactly who you're talking to. So for Justin, I see 3 clear buckets. We've got aspiring solopreneurs. Those are the 9-to-5ers who want out. We've got scaling creators, making some money, but they're hungry for some more growth. We've got the full-time creators running personal brands, looking to optimize, scale, and connect with other pros. Next, his offers. They're pretty straightforward. Content Operating System, LinkedIn Operating System, the Creator MBA, and the unsubscribe community. And then of course, we've got the sponsorship slots. These are about $2,500 a pop, which is a really nice little revenue stream. Probably not a little revenue stream, let's be honest. Here's where it could get even smarter. A sponsor pays $2,500 and gets a blast to the entire list. But if you've got these 3 segments, aspiring, scaling, and full-time, you can make sponsorships way more valuable. It's very possible that Justin already does this. I can immediately buy a 1-issue sponsorship for $2,500. It goes to all 175,000 readers. with 105,000 average views and 800 plus average clicks. The audience says here is entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, creators, and freelancers. So this is great. If we want it to go to everyone, I can click reserve my sponsorship today. It takes me to a Calendly where I can immediately choose the day that I want it to go out and just pay. But here's what I think we could do. If I'm a sponsor paying $2,500, I'd be even more excited to know that my ad is only going to the exact segment that I care about. So maybe there's less views and clicks, but they're targeted. Maybe I only want full-time creators because they've got budgets with zero time to DIY anything. Or maybe I want aspiring solopreneurs who are still learning the ropes, but eager to invest in a starter product. If I'm sponsoring the newsletter, I could say I only want to target the aspiring audience segment or the scaling audience segment or the full-time audience segment. And this is where it gets really fun. You can tailor the sponsor message within each segment. So we can blast to the entire list, but we can personalize it to each segment right in the email. So if I were sponsoring with creator engines, I could have my ad to aspiring solopreneurs pitch my cohort program, to scaling creators pitch my one-day intensive, and to full-time creators pitch my one-week comprehensive service. So that way, even sponsored placements are personalized. And as a sponsor, I'd feel way better about dropping $2,500 knowing I'm not just renting a megaphone. So I'm speaking directly to the people I want with the exact message that they need across the entire list. Here's where we could take it to the next level. A short pitch sequence. Again, a personalized dynamic pitch sequence. It's just 1 to 3 emails that give that reader a quick reminder of the product they were just shown, deadline for the discount, and maybe even some more social proof or a testimonial to seal the deal. Nothing aggressive, just clean, timely, relevant, personalized. So if they buy, great. Drop them into an onboarding sequence, help them use the product, and then collect a quick testimonial. I'd use something like Senja to automate that part. And then that testimonial, you drop it right back into the pitch sequence for next time. This is a self-improving system. Nathan Barry would call it a flywheel.
Creator flywheels.
If they don't buy, no problem. Send them a 1-question non-buyer survey using Right Message. Ask what stopped them, price, timing, relevance, so maybe something else, and then use that insight to either trigger a follow-up or just improve the offer for the next person. Now they're ready for the Saturday Solopreneur. And this is key. It should not be a broadcast newsletter. A lot of creators do that and it's totally fine. But I think the Saturday email should feel like a choose your own adventure, personalized to the reader's current segment, needs, pain points, and product purchase history. So for example, if I just bought Creator MBA and I told you I'm a full-time creator looking to scale my systems, I should not be getting entry-level content about setting up a LinkedIn profile. I should be getting high leverage strategies, productization ideas, maybe even stuff about hiring or licensing. That's where the smart buckets come in. So I'd build 3 primary smart buckets. A bucket of action items, a bucket of testimonials tied to products, and a bucket of product offers and soft pitches. So each newsletter that goes out dynamically pulls from those buckets based on the subscriber's current segment, pain points, and next logical offer. So maybe 60% of the time, I get a high quality action item, but I want it to be dynamic and personalized to me. Another 20% of the time, I would get a relevant soft pitch paired with a testimonial tied to that product. And then the remaining 20% of the time, I want to see either a native kit pull or a Right Message pull that I can update my profile. And because every element of this email is powered by smart liquid logic tied to custom fields in Kit and visual automations, the whole thing updates automatically when the subscriber's stage, behavior, or purchase history updates. And here's where it gets even smarter. Every 90 days, the evergreen newsletter pauses that flow, takes them out of it, and drops them into a new pitch sequence for their next best offer. The same personalization, the same dynamic logic. If they buy, perfect. Same onboarding, for whatever they bought, same testimonial capture, maybe even invite them to an affiliate program. Then we drop them back into the newsletter where they left off. If they don't purchase, we ask for feedback and resume their flow back in the evergreen newsletter from where they left off. And we do that every 90 days for their next best offer. Over time, the system sells without overselling. It builds goodwill. The content always feels like Justin wrote it just for you, and it's scalable because he doesn't have to touch a thing. Meanwhile, sponsors win because the open rates will stay high, probably even get higher. Content stays relevant, and the placements feel like they're part of the story, not an interruption. Even with just a few little tweaks to what he's already doing, I'd bet this could lift his sales by at least 20%, making the whole thing feel even more personal, more valuable, with less work. All right, let's shift gears and actually build this thing. I'm going to be wiring up a real creator engine using Kit's visual automations, custom fields, flag tags, and a smart dynamic email template that does all the heavy lifting for Justin 24/7. First, I create a set of visual automations in Kit that manage all of the functions and logic that we've talked about, capturing every new subscriber the second they join, segmenting them instantly using their right message survey responses, storing them in custom fields, calculating their next logical offer, and storing that in another custom field. Then I'd trigger a smart welcome sequence based on their segment and pain points. Then I'd queue up their pitch sequence for that very first offer. And then finally, we drop them into the evergreen newsletter loop, fully personalized, dynamically updated over time. These are not 5 separate systems. It's one entirely connected pipeline that adapts to the subscriber as they move through it. Next, I'd add some list pruning logic. So we're not paying to email ghosts. Every 90 or 180 days, the system checks each subscriber. Are they opening emails? Are they clicking? Have they gone dark? If they're inactive, we'll fire off a re-engagement sequence. If after some more time they're still silent or they've gone completely cold, we'll tag them for manual removal or suppression. Then I'd build another automation just for pitching. By default, every subscriber gets a new offer pitched every 90 days, automatically calculated based on what they've seen, what they've bought, who they are, their pain points, and what they need. But I'd also layer in logic to detect intent spikes. So if somebody's suddenly clicking more, engaging with specific content, or revisiting an offer page, we can trigger an early pitch. So the system doesn't just wait, it will react. Then I'd make sure to preload all the onboarding flows, ready to fire instantly after a purchase happens. Feedback flows for both buyers and non-buyers, entry logic for every lead magnet and content opt-in. And that way, no matter how someone joins, they immediately enter the right flow, personalized from the get-go. Now here's where the personalization gets really real. I build a custom creator engine's email template that matches Justin's current Saturday Solopreneur layout, visually identical, fonts, spacing, colors, branding, all of it untouched. But in the back end, there's one section or a couple sections that are alive. These blocks are powered by Liquid Logic. This is the templating language that Kit uses in their email templates, and you are free to use it as well. But what we're going to do is connect it to a database of content elements, these buckets that I talked about earlier. Audience segments mapped to each subscriber in Kit. Product offers with multiple pitch variations, one for each segment. Action items tailored to where someone is in their journey. Testimonials mapped to the offer that they support. So when a subscriber opens a Saturday Solopreneur email, the newsletter template already knows what segment that subscriber is in, what they've bought or haven't bought, what their next best offer is, and what kind of action item will resonate. And the email builds itself before it even hits the inbox. We're just using Kit, custom fields, some visual automations, and some smart liquid and a dynamic email template. From Justin's end of things, it's effortless. He can still send a weekly broadcast if he wants, but he doesn't need to. He can let the system run itself. His welcome sequences adapt. His pitch sequences stay relevant. His onboarding improves over time, and his Saturday issues evolve with each subscriber. That's what a creator engine actually looks like when it's running. Every email feels personal because it is. Every pitch is timed perfectly with the right message at the right time. And every testimonial reinforces the exact product that you're considering. It's not just automation, it's automation with memory, logic, and nuance. It's built once and it just runs forever. And that's how you build a newslettering kit that sells from the mountaintop while you're busy enjoying the view. I'm not actually going to drop that. That's a very expensive microphone.